So today we're out here doing a video with roses. I'm just waiting for Angie to put stuff away so we can get this going.
Ready. So I'm excited because I get to show you the roses, and I know we didn't get to, we've just been telling y'all we're gonna do it and we never do it. Actually, we stopped the video early this morning. We were out here because it was so dark, and I think you got footage of that.
Yeah, I did. It was about to rain. We had some pretty terrible looking rain clouds, and then, you know,
it faked us out.
Just like everything else here in Texas, you know, every 5 minutes the weather changes until the clouds just dissipated, went away, and now it's humid and sunny.
I was bummed out because I was like, I'm so ready to show you guys. So it's perfect timing because today, well, this month, we're in July, is time to fertilize the roses. We've been neglecting our roses for a while because of our recent, move. And we didn't fertilize the roses, the ones that were, they are in the containers, because we thought we were gonna, by now, plant every single one.
So all these roses should be in the ground, but plants change and things happen where we kind of had an idea of landscaping ideas that we came across, and we were like, you know what, let's kind of wait on this. So a lot of these guys stayed in their containers. They were supposed to come out and be in the ground, so we didn't do the normal things that we do.
We'll talk more about it later. Maybe if we have time after this, but right now the main focus is going to be the fertilizing.
So what are we using?
And that's why I repeated it right now. I forgot to tell you guys. So one thing that we didn't do was in the beginning of spring that we love to do with not just in pots but also in the ground is refresh them with some compost. And Ambrose is grabbing it.
So one thing we always do is we scrape out about an inch or two of soil if it needs to, and then we refresh it with some compost in there.
I usually do that because I didn't see those problems here, but over there we had so many things happening, like thrips, and what else was there?
So the biggest thing is I want to talk about is Japanese beetles.
Japanese beetles.
That was one of the reasons why we scraped the soil out, because these Japanese beetles like to lay their larvae in the containers, and then they come up. And I will tell you right now that
in the ground too. So.
June is gone, and we had no Japanese beetles here.
We don't have any. There's no Japanese. I did hear some of our rose garden friends up north in Texas telling us that they do have them. We don't have them at all. Maybe it's because
I think it's too hot for these guys here.
But I haven't seen. I did see thrips in the beginning. In spring. But I haven't seen them after that. We probably only gave them some food. We fed them in the beginning of spring, and that was it. We haven't done anything else, but they have been flowering like crazy. That's why I feel bad I haven't shown you the roses, but it was kind of just letting it happen. So I'm talking too much. Let's get going to what we're, why we're here. Let's start fertilizing. So I'm going to start with Olivia Rose. She's right here, and she actually has a bloom. She's getting ready to bloom again. But her blooms are a little smaller. What I'm going to do, I should probably move this pot. I have this pot here just so I can put whatever I'm taking out of that pot and put it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the top layer. This one does have a little bit of mulch. Some of them have mulch. That's something we forgot to mention right now. We didn't get to mulch them in the beginning of spring. So they're still with whatever they had when we moved from the other garden. So what I'm gonna do right now, I hate wearing gloves, but because I'm working with roses, a lot of times you'll find some of their thorns or little branches broken off in there, and I don't feel like getting poked by it. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove all this old mulch and 2 to 3 layers of old soil, potting soil. And now, if you can pass me the rose tone. We're gonna give them a good feed with rose tone from Espoma Organic. This is what we always use to feed our roses. So I'm gonna get a good scoop. And just go all around I like to go not too close to the base, just around it. just work it in there. And I'm gonna be bothering Ambrose with everything. You wanna hand me the compost and prepare the bag for me of mulch. Okay, and then I'm going to fill back up in there with some of the compost, also from Espoma Organic. we love to use something that is very good quality. That's why we work with, we love to use Espoma Organic. It works really good, the whole garden. And now some of the mulch.
All right.
So this will keep, the compost will keep them.
You have to grab it there with your hands.
Not just the fertilizer, but the compost is really good too. All this will bring back the nutrients to the roses. As we go ahead and show you the rest of the roses, we'll probably just do what, one? Yeah. Show them one. Maybe another in the ground. But as we start to show you, you'll see that some of them have yellowing on their leaves. And the reason is because they don't have any nutrients anymore. They haven't been, either fed, or they're screaming to get out of the containers already too. The heat could be also doing the yellowish on the roses, but I don't think it is. It's that right now, because I have a lot of the other ones that are looking good still. I think what they really do need is a good feeding, compost, and mulch. Yep. And the mulch is going to retain moisture. That way, as you water, when you water, it doesn't dry out throughout the day in the summer heat. Yeah. Here we're actually only watering them once. We're already in summer and it's hot. High 90s, maybe 100.
We'll be hitting the hundreds pretty soon. Yeah, and I'm still just watering them one time a day, early morning. Yeah, so, I mean, you might be asking yourself, when's the best time to fertilize? Like Angie mentioned, this is the time to fertilize here. Now, most roses, like, as you know, some do well in certain zones, so we have different zones. But when it comes to feeding, mulching, all that kind of stuff, and fertilizing, you go by regions, and I can put that up there real quick. Yeah. We go off the David Austin book, and it tells you exactly when you should do your first feeding, your second, and your third feeding. Right now, we're doing basically our third feeding right now. And for our area here, I can't remember what states it includes, but for our area here, it's mid-July. Yeah, it's mid-July. And then next month, August, we'll just skip. Yep. That's going to be actually rose pruning here, and we'll bring you along with us to that too. Yep. And then we'll just have September. That'll be our last feeding for these. And the great thing beauties about fall here is it doesn't get too cold and it doesn't stay too warm, so we'll have a nice beautiful flush of roses like when we first got here. So that'll definitely work out. All right, my knees are hurting. I need to get up. All right, so I say we do one in the ground, and then I go ahead and bring y'all over here so y'all and talk a little bit about these. Yep. We're trying to decide which rose to feed on the ground on video for you guys. And Ambrose wants me to show off Peggy Martin, so it's Peggy. It definitely has to be Peggy. Look at. We just bought this one how long ago? At the beginning of the season? Yeah, in spring. And she's a fast grower and just beautiful, beautiful rose. I've had to tie her up already, pretty much everywhere. It's a beautiful rose, it's growing beautiful in the ground too. So we're very happy with Peggy Martin. But Angie's gonna go ahead and do that one while I take care of some other stuff. Can they see me right here actually fertilizing? I'm going to go ahead and remove. There's a lot of little rocks around and weeds. The weeds just seem to keep coming back, and that's because after planting them, we never got back to fertilizing. I mean, not fertilizing, to mulching them. The mulch keeps the weeds away. That's what I'm doing right now. I don't even know what to call. What is this tool? I love using this one. That's an excavator, basically. I love using this one. I don't even use it the right way sometimes. I use the side.
to push things out of the way. And because we planted this one not long ago, it was what, in spring?
Yep.
I'm only going to give it the rose tone. So the same thing around where the roots, where you, what do you call it? Where the roots are at?
The base of the roots. I mean,
there you go. The base of the roots, not the actual. What do you call the center?
Yep.
Of the plant? You don't want to do that. Okay, so I think y'all can see from right there how far out I went to apply the fertilizer. You don't want it way close into the center of the plant, the main plant. You just want to get it the outside where the roots. What do you call that? The drip?
I mean, drip line. It's normally drip line for trees and shrubs.
So I don't know if it's the same thing for roses, but that's what you want to do. And finally, we're going to mulch. We're so bad. It's just been so busy. We've had the bags of mulch just sitting there on the side of the home for a while already. And we haven't had time. The kids are helping a lot. And I should have let our daughters do it the other day, but I told them I wanted to go ahead and do this with you guys on camera. And we're finally here. So there we go. Just want to make sure to give all around some mulch. And today I didn't put my long sleeve. I usually use long sleeve because working with roses, so I don't get scratched. I forgot today. So I think that's it for the feeding the roses, showing you how we feed them, what we do, the things that we skip doing in the beginning of spring. But right now, like I said, this is feeding them. The focus is on feeding them so that way they can give us another flush. Now, I think we should have some fun and show you what everybody else is doing and what new roses we have in the garden. So I'm gonna go ahead and still fertilize here and there, the ones that I don't have to clean out and refresh the soil with the compost. These are some of the new ones that we just brought into our new garden this spring. And I still haven't found a place. I thought I knew where I wanted them, but I said, let's just hold on. So I'm gonna fertilize them while we're talking too.
I'm making all kinds of noise over here.
Ambrose is getting the mulch ready. So these are still in their original nursing containers. These two right here. This is Belinda's Dream, and right next to it is Belinda's Blush. They're both beautiful pink roses. They're just very, very pretty. What I do want to tell you is that I know that they are very strong roses and very recommended for our area here in Texas. They're very prolific roses as well. They've been blooming for us since we got them, even though they're in these nursery containers. Now, let me get that one over there, and then I can talk, and Ambrose can just put the mulch.
Well, I'm putting some compost first.
Compost?
A little bit of compost.
Okay, you are going to give them some compost.
Just a bit on these.
Okay. So, because it is very, very hot here, these roses are starting to, they have a little bit of burn on their leaves. When we first got here, what I thought we were going to have a lot of trouble with, because I think we were just so used to the area that we lived in, Virginia, it was just very, very wet and humid. It rained a lot. So what the trouble that we had was black spot on the leaves. When we first got here and I started to notice, we bought these that are in the small containers, started to notice that they had markings on their leaves, but it wasn't black spot. It's just crisp, it's burned. And the reason they're burned is because they're still in very small containers. That's why I always say I don't like working with small containers in hot climates, because they dry out so quickly unless you have it hooked up on drip, or right next close to you where you're going to remember that that's okay. But that is one of the biggest things, but because we don't know yet where we're going to have these roses. We still have them in their original containers. Yeah. So by the end of the day, I'm talking already, the evening arrives.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're completely dry, and I have to come and give them maybe a little bit of water so they can pull off through the night because it gets that hot. They do well in the big containers, and I don't have to worry. But I noticed that they had burn leaves, but it's because their soil gets very, very dry in them.
Yeah, I mean, so I went ahead and put the mulch in this thing right here because I use actually shredded pine bark mulch. I don't use a big chunky mulch only because I feel like that dries out a little bit faster. It has a more surface area, so it dries out faster. So I use the really fine shredded stuff, and the reason I have it in here is because the bag's super heavy because it's wet, and that tells you it retains a lot of moisture. You know, and the reason I use pine, I can do a whole video on mulches if you want to hear something about all mulches, because somebody did ask one time. Go ahead and leave it in the comments below. I'll do a video on mulches, but one of the main reasons is because pine bark releases a lot more pH into your soil, so whatever these containers are taking up in nutrients and stuff, this will release some pH back into that soil. So it just kind of balances itself out.
I love that you mixed it.
Yep.
So before I jump into to show you another new rose, I'm going to show you one that we've had with us since we were in North Carolina.
This one goes back a ways.
So this right here is Brother Gatfill. This is a DA rose as well.
Yeah.
And this one is, I wish we had the pictures. It's a globular, almost clear pink.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. It opens up into like a peony kind of flower.
Yeah.
It is very, very beautiful flower, and I can't get rid of it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, every time we showed, when it was blooming beautifully, every time we showed a picture of it, people thought it was, what kind of peony was that? That was a question we used to get all the time.
And it did really, really well for us in North Carolina. We had it in a place where it got a lot of sun. The last garden didn't have that much sun, the area that our home was at. So it did okay for us, not that great. So, it needs a lot of sun.
Yeah, so as you can imagine, we can't wait to get a lot of these roses in the ground to see how they do.
It needs to go in the ground or in a bigger pot, but I want it in the ground. I can't wait to show it to you guys when it's finally settled. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it over here.
Yeah.
Because it's out of frame. Okay, so this one right here, it's not very happy in this container. It's also a new one, and it's in a nursery container. This is Frida Kahlo. And they have been blooming, as you can see. So if I let that pot go dry, it'll completely crisp right away, and she will show me. I had to get it because of the name. I've always had my eye on Frida, the Frida Kahlo rose. This beautiful, I don't know if to call it red-orange kind of bloom. It is just very, very pretty, and I needed to have it. We also got it this spring here in one of our local nurseries that we go to. I think I actually got it from Fanix. Had to get it we brought it from Fanix Garden Center. But I love this rose a lot. Do you have Ambrose is going to take care of the fertilizing. So yeah, it'll crisp as soon as the soil goes dry. It just crisps. So that's why I can't wait to find a place for all of them to put them in. For right now, I'm just home right now, so it's okay for me to be coming and checking on the garden. I actually enjoy it a lot. What are you doing now? The compost?
Compost. I'm not doing too much compost only because this container is still pretty full. Yeah. It's a fairly new rose, so a lot of the stuff hasn't broken down. The roses that we've had a while, it has broken down, so they need a little bit of a refill.
It's good that we're going ahead and giving them this right now because they take so much watering that it just, what would you say, bleach it out? It just comes all out, whatever they had there that was still, helping them bloom. All right, so I'm going to move it back where I had it. And let's show them. I'm going to say let's start over here with the ones that we planted not long ago for you guys on video. So it's been around, how long would you say, since we planted these beauties, this one here?
2.5 weeks, maybe?
Yeah. And Ambrose even already got it started training on the fence here. He put some wire. So this is Lady of Shalott, guys. Another David Austin rose. I think it likes it here. It looks really pretty. It's actually flowered, not too much, but 1 or 2. Right now it's concentrating on giving us good roots, establishing itself. But I love it in this area here. we need to take care of it. We need to get some mulch. Today we'll do it right after we finish, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you. It's doing great. So let's move on to the next one that we also got planted, not at the same time. And this right here is Teasing Georgia. And Teasing Georgia is also very, very happy right now. So in the ground, I'm probably just watering them twice a week. And I'm questioning myself because I only see myself watering them maybe once.
Yeah.
It stays moist, and that's because we haven't put any mulch down. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but the soil is still holding some moisture in there. So they're very happy. So let's move on to another one. And this is an example. This is an example of why they need to get out of the containers and why we're feeding them as well right now, and we need to give them, some good nutrients, some good food. So there's a lot of yellowing on this one. This one's a climber, and it was growing in the ground. This is Pearly Gates.
Yep.
And Pearly Gates is not very happy right now. Pearly Gates grows really big. We've removed her probably 3 times already from the ground in the past. She always jumps back though. But she's not very happy right now. We have her in a very small container at that. We had to squeeze her out. We had her planted in the back in the ground, and she was very happy. We had to prune her roots because she grew big there. She was very happy there at that. But I put her here for now so that way she can be getting the right amount of sun. And I'm still debating where I want to put her. I'm not sure yet. I know she gets really big. She's a very big climber, and her flowers are very, very pretty. I think, to me, I always call them like a marshmallow.
Yeah.
Like a marshmallow bloom. I hate that right now we don't have any flowers to show you. As you can see, it was in flower. It still won't stop blooming. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is a new one that Ambrose... you should talk to them about this one.
White licorice.
White licorice.
That's all I have to say. Licorice. It smells like licorice. Love it. Beautiful white color.
Not white.
Oh, it's a yellow. I'm sorry. It fades into a white.
Yeah.
But it starts off like a beautiful yellow color. It is called white licorice, though.
You can show them to them the tag.
It has a beautiful scent.
I'll stand right there. So
there's the tag right there. It's a color. It's a floribunda, so it has some beautiful blooms.
The color was a little bit more yellow though, and I think it was a little bit more yellow when we first brought it, and it's been blooming for us, and it has a little bit more color.
Yep. So I'm not a fan of licorice candy, but the scent is amazing.
He fell in love with it. That day we went to another one, which in spring it was a Rainbow Gardens Center, another local garden center of ours here, and Ambrose he fell in love with that one. So this one too, I have a very hard time making sure that it doesn't crunch. If you want to show them the leaves right away, if it dries out, you'll see the crunch right there. And look, the leaves right here, because it needs to be planted in the ground or in a bigger container. So now we're headed to another one. And I'm going to go ahead and try to show as many of them, because I know some of you garden friends have been asking to see what happened to all the roses that you guys had at the other house in Virginia. We brought them with us. So that's why I'm going to go ahead, and it'll probably be a long video. We'll see how we do this, how it goes. Okay, so now here we have the mill on the floss. So the mill on the floss, I thought it was going to be, I don't know, a more compact or smaller rose, but it turned out to be this big, beautiful wild thing that I love so much, and it just grows so pretty. And when it puts on those very unique flowers that it blooms in pink, it just looks so enchanting. It's just so elegant and enchanting. I don't know, those are the words that come to my mind when I see it in bloom. Again, I cannot let them go without water because they'll start to scorch. So that's something that I have to be careful. And if you see some of the scorching right now, it's not that we're not taking care of them or watering them. There has been days that it rains, but it's not enough to
soak the pots.
To soak up the pots. And then we have to, even though if it rains, we have to make our way out here when it's done raining and check them. And in the beginning, that was my error that I made. I thought, oh, it rained, I don't have to water at all. No, I had to still come because the humidity gets really high here after it is done raining. Okay, so this is another one that I love so much that we brought along with us. And this poor baby needs some help too already. It's yellowing. So this right here is a... I'm trying to remember the name of it. I had it right now.
Lilac Rise Up Days.
Lilac Days.
Rise Up Lilac
Days. So this is from the Pearl Winners Color Choice selection of roses that they have. And this was sent to us by Pearl Winners Color Choice and a few others that we'll show you. And this is actually a mini climber, meaning that it doesn't get too big. You can also keep it as a shrub. And it has the most beautiful lilac flowers, and they just smell so pretty. They're like a very soft floral perfume. So in this area, we have a lot more of the roses that we brought along with us. There's no new roses here. So I'm going to name a few of them, and then we'll move on because it's getting really hot. So this one right here is Emily Bronte, right? I think this is Emily Bronte, yeah. I call it Ambrose Rose because when he saw this one first come out a few years ago, he had to have it.
Yeah.
And it's doing really well. It's very healthy. Actually, all of these have kept very, very healthy leaves, and they've been doing really, really great.
Yeah.
This is also easy rose, double red. And this is also from Pearl Winners Color Choice. And it's been doing really, really well. It hasn't flowered as much as I thought it was going to flower.
It's got a couple of
it has
smaller
a few
buds right now.
Oh, it's actually coming into bloom again.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it's going to do, but it has been giving a lot of bloom all from early spring. So I think they had just taken a little break, this one. But I love how big... Yeah. I don't know how big the shrub is, how it gets. And then we have this one that is Queen Elizabeth. I couldn't leave Queen Elizabeth. This is one that we didn't have it looking good at all in Virginia. It just gave us so much problems.
Yeah, it did.
Because of the rain. And of course, the same thing here is a small container and a nursery container. Way too small for it right now. Can't wait to bring it out and, put it somewhere. It's a very large shrub rose. And then this is Olivia Rose. She is just beautiful no matter what, whether she's blooming or not. She's a very, very healthy rose. She has just one right now, but she bloomed her heart out. When was it? Like in spring? She went crazy blooming for us. Beautiful, beautiful flowers, and on and off it's been blooming. We have, let's see, this over here is Rodau. Rodau has been doing really, really good too. It's actually been blooming like crazy. This is Crema. This is a white one. We don't have a lot of white roses.
No, we don't.
Crema is another one of the Pearl Winners Color Choice collection of roses. And this one is just a shrub. It's not a climber. But it has a very pretty white cream rose. And then this right here, I'm trying to remember the names of them. I'm not sure if this is... No, this is Rodau, guys. This is Rodau, which was blooming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
It's doing really pretty still. I love the shape that it's taken here. So I'm trying to remember who this is. Lynchfield Angel.
How can we forget?
I have it right by the other white. Yeah. I think this is the only two white ones that we have.
Yeah.
Right, in bloom. Which is very healthy rose, too. And then, oh my gosh, this is an oldie guy.
This one has been around just as long as Brother Cattrall.
We bought it in North Carolina, and I'm trying to remember the name right now. Wisley 2008.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So this guy, let me move him over there.
Got a little bud right there. Oh, you just moved it out of the camera.
Sorry, guys. I just want y'all to see. So he likes to do that octopus thing. He will go crazy and wild. So you have to keep him kind of tidy. We'll be pruning them the next month. Give them a little, to shape them out. But here comes the flower, and this is one of the most prettiest pinks. This is one of those roses that gives one of the most prettiest pinks.
And the scent is a beautiful tea flavor. Tea scent.
It's very, very pretty. So let's come over here so we can show the other. We planted this one, Peggy, another Peggy Martin. We planted this one on the last video too of roses that we showed, planting the roses video, and it's doing well. It's climbing a little bit already. We did plant it a little later. It was already hot, so this one takes a little time, I guess. But I'm going to show you who doesn't care, doesn't care at all what's happening. Look who's blooming over here. We'll show y'all later. We have a video coming up soon of planting hibiscus. Harlocar. Harlocar does not care. I'm going to tell you again, if you're looking for a really tough rose that just doesn't care what the climate is, humid, hot, dry, heat, wet, whatever, Harlocar is amazing. Now, a lot of people don't like Harlocar because of their thorns. This is one of the most thorniest of them all, of the roses. It's very, very thorny, but look at that flower. It's been flowering since we, let's go over there so I can show y'all the rest, since we planted them. And we have more hibiscus here, guys. And here's this one, getting already ready to give more flowers. And it started to, it's pushing out a lot of that old yellow leaves. When we planted them, they were full of yellow too, because they were screaming to get out and they wanted to get fed, and nice soil, good nutrients in there. And it's pushing out all that old leaf. With time, by next month, I'll go ahead and cut all that off. But you can see all the green starting to emerge. And the flowers, they just keep coming. So they've just been doing great. I know we haven't, treated them the way they need to, and it's because it's just been so busy with everything we have going on. But I know we have to mulch them. That's what we're going to do right after we're done. We'll wait for the sun to come down a bit, and we'll come out here and finish fertilizing everyone, feeding them with rose tone. So I am going to show you someone that I know everybody loves so much and has been asking for. Okay, so who is this rose? Who is it?
Gertrude Jico.
I know a lot of you have been asking, where is Gertie? Gertie.
One of those.
Everyone changes the name because, I don't know, it's hard to say the name. Now I learned how to say it, Gertrude Jico. I hope I said it right.
Yeah.
But we do have a third one. We'll see if we show it, because we just wanted to get away from the sun. So we have it in the east area right now. So there's shade already here. This is the first time it's starting to show some black spot here. And reason being is because it started to rain.
Yeah.
Weird, right? We've had rain here in San Antonio, Texas. It hasn't been what everybody says a normal, which is good though.
It's been pretty wet compared to what they say it's been the last couple years. But it's all good. I mean, this rose is from what you can see right here, it doesn't stop growing. Now I feel very, very bad for it because they've been in these containers for a very long time since we actually planted them. So we're going on what we did in North Carolina the last year we were there. So it's pretty much five years,
I think.
And that's bad on us, shame on us, because we haven't repotted them. The goal is to get them either in the ground or in the raised bed.
We're gonna see. We haven't at all dug in here to see what we're working with in this area. That's the reason being.
Yeah.
We wanted to see too how it was gonna do when it rains, because when it rains it pours, and it literally pours here.
So this house doesn't have any gutters. Just so you guys know that, and that's one of the worries is the rain hitting these guys and potentially causing some damage. But again,
or rotting, some root rot, because around winter we do get some rain, and this past winter we got to be here a full winter, and we noticed,
we saw how much water was hitting here,
and it made me think twice. Do I really want to have them just sitting in water? Should we wait and raise it, like Ambrose said, a little bit? But if we do, we'll have some trellises in the back.
Yep.
Make it look really pretty. And just wondering, do we do 1 or 2? Because they grow a lot.
I'm thinking 2. Angie says you were on the fence with 1.
I was thinking 1.
You guys have seen this grow before. If you've been following us for any time, you've seen how great this grows. So you let us know what you think, and maybe we'll come to a conclusion there. But
yeah,
I think I'm gonna go with 2. I don't know.
It would be beautiful to have 2. The reason being, I would love to see. Which this is weird in my part, the trellis. I would love to see 2 trellis against their split.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I love the look of that. But I mean, we can always just have 1 complete. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. But it's been okay. We'll go back into about the black spot that this one does have. But it's been blooming like crazy.
Yeah.
So I never seen it bloom so much before.
Actually have one right here.
Yeah, beautiful. You can smell it too. Just one. That's one of those roses that 1 bloom and that's it. And
we got buds.
One bloom and it's enough fragrance in the air. But anyways, it's what we only would see it for sure in early spring,
and then
at the end of spring, summer, and then maybe in fall give us a few.
Yeah.
And then let's hope that it holds its leaves and that it didn't get really sick that year. There was good years and then there was bad years that the poor thing was bare because we got hit up with it's not just thrips, the other ones, little worms.
We had a lot of soft fly on this one.
Soft fly.
Which was kind of terrible, but we haven't seen anything like that. Again, it's just a black spot. But as you can see, for a rose, it's been in its own pot for that long. It is still pushing a lot of growth, even after the hard prune we gave it when we moved. So I'm very excited to actually get this one planted either in the ground or maybe upsize it. We'll see what we do, but I'm excited to see what it's going to do up against this wall.
Also, we have not been spraying them a lot, meaning for only once we did it.
Yeah.
And we'll do a video because it's going to come up. I wanted to see, you see, this year is all about learning what's going to happen here in this climate. For us, it's new again. Even though we're from here, it's new to us again. We've been gone for a while. I wanted to see how everything was going to react, the plants. Ambrose, you did what, 1 spray?
I sprayed it once, and this is all new growth, so it was only sprayed when it had very minimal growth. So all this new growth is basically untreated, which is bad on our part. But again, we're trying to see what things are doing, how the sun's handling.
We use Ivy Organics, so it's an organic spray. So that's that I just wanted to let y'all know because I know you guys ask a lot about what you use. So that's the only bad thing. It rained. I don't even remember, a few weeks ago, it just kept coming. Yeah. And that's when we started to see black spot. So that's really it.
Overall, I can tell you right now, this is a very good rose, not being in a container. I mean, being in a container for so long, not being in the ground, it still performs really, really well. I think it's just a spraying, just like most things we have in the yard. We got to spray. I mean, you got to protect from either sun, insects, or whatever the case is, black spot.
But I'm going to tell you something. We're in July.
Yep.
And we still got August to come, our way, and that's going to be the hottest month here. We still have that to come our way, and we need to see what's going to happen with plants.
Yeah.
If they just scorch on their own or what.
Yeah, so
we're going to still look at that, and then I just want to make sure that before we start doing videos, we get all the good information for you guys.
We got to make sure we're showing you guys exactly how things are doing. Because it's like I told Angie earlier, plants, they're living things just like humans. You can be as hydrated as you want out in the sun, but guess what? You're still going to get sunburn. You can water your plants all you want. They're still going to get sunburn, and whether you water it or not. So we're just trying to see what does well.
But for now, right now, everything's been doing amazing. Yep. The roses, I kind of wanted to stay away from roses for a while. I remember when we left here because
that's all we saw here.
All you see is roses here. And my mom, that's all she ever had, roses. And you can go down the street and empty homes and you'll see roses doing amazing with no help.
Yeah.
Roses, this is a place to grow roses. Yeah. So we're going to be back on, we love them. We can't stay away.
We've come to appreciate them very, very much. Yeah. That's one of the main reasons. But, yeah, I think that's it, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry we made this so long.
Yeah.
But,
we just wanted to show you. We're very excited. I don't even know what to say right now because I'm just so excited. Want to let y'all know the roses have been doing amazing.
Yeah.
Even though we haven't been on top of them because of everything that's been going on.
So that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure you enjoyed coming out here and doing the roses and taking care of them.
I do. I love it.
It's exciting. So
we're going to wait for the temperature to go down a little bit and the sun to come down.
Definitely.
And then we'll come back and finish mulching and feeding and mulching.
Yep. So like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.